Hi, can I be heard? Are the levels good? Are we good? Hi everyone, I'm Venom 2 million. Welcome. We're here again. This is unprecedented. I'm back, but I'm front. You see me, so clearly, let's make sure that volume is good. Audio is good, everybody. Hey, welcome. Welcome. I hope everyone's having a great week. I hope you had a great month, great everything. I hope you're doing great. I hope you had a great day. I hope everything is going good, y'all. Welcome, y'all. We about to talk some stuff because so my channel is Spider-Man. I'm Venom 2 million. I talk about Spider-Man, but there's a lot more that goes on in my life. A whole lot more that goes on, and I'm sure everyone's lives outside of Spider-Man. But this is an entertainment property. This is something we all find, entertainment in, and we have a common interest. But at the same time, this character is a character that his stories, we all relate to it in various ways, and it's kind of universally relatable. That's why arguably Spider-Man is the most popular character. But Spider-Man being the most popular character has a lot of implications, at least to me, for society, and for, I guess, just the morality standpoint of some individuals. I guess Spider-Man is, and all the superheroes in general, and even just all stories that really talk about morality and things like that, they're very interesting to me, and I think that they speak to a larger society or societal perspective of morality. That's why people gravitate toward it. Because that's not to say just because it's popular doesn't make it I guess the correct moral standing or the correct moral foundation. But I do find that its popularity is relevant, within that conversation of a society's perspective of morality, of a society's perspective of even day-to-day relations. I think these stories, whether we want to agree, whether we want to even acknowledge it, these stories really affect people, which is interesting. I'm Venom 2 million, so my whole life not necessarily has been about Spider-Man, but in terms of this internet space, the character that most people see me as on the internet is a character that's associated with Spider-Man. And I use that word character because I'm a real person, and the internet is a space. The conversation of the metaverse and all of these things, it is a space where faces can come and can basically present whatever they want to present, and I've been presenting within this umbrella of Spider-Man, which is not even the character really doesn't have anything to do with me. I have nothing to do with Marvel, Sony, or any of that, which is interesting because you look at the channel, right? But with that, what I'm talking about is just because I have that upbringing, I have that gravitation, or I resonate with the Spider-Man characters. You could argue, you're watching, other people do too, and these characters and stories really do have an effect on us subconsciously. I think consciously too, but I think subconsciously definitely. And it's so interesting because I think about it from the perspective of someone who's talking about these stories from the perspective of a content creator. And I think about it with the thought of what story am I trying to tell when it comes to me speaking, presenting on YouTube, when it comes to me doing anything. What is the reason, outside of, Spider-Man, great. It's great, but what's the read? That was a part of my stepping back from everything. I have to figure out what exactly is going on. What's the point, plan, and predicament. The point, plan, and predicament. But with that, what is it? So Spider-Man Miles Morales and even the first Spider-Man game by Insomniac Games is a game they wrote. Now if you played the games, you know, the stories is something else. The story is like on a whole nother level. It's like okay, all right, okay. Like that's the best way to describe it, at least for me. I can't go into I'm gonna go into like the parts of the story and to really relate that to the Spider-Verse film, and then relate it to just us, you know, humans living in these times right now. It's like you snap your fingers, Thanos snap his fingers, and the pandemic happened, and people, you know, vanish. But that's how it goes, right? That's how it goes, right? And with that, like, I just want to really talk about the stories, and you know, I want to talk about just varying perspectives, because the story really showcased, at least to me, all of the Spider-Man stories, and even all of the stories and movies that we consume, media that we consume. There's so many varying perspectives, even from the audience, but within the stories, there's so many varying perspectives, and that's what leads to the conflict and what leads to X, Y, and Z, all of these varying perspectives. And I just really want to appreciate that. That's what the point of this live stream is. Like, I want to really appreciate the story from the perspective of what is the story that they was telling? What's the point? What is the subtle implications, the all of that. You know, you get what I'm saying? I'm gonna inject a lot of my opinion. I mean, this whole thing is my opinion, but I'm gonna inject like a lot of like different commentary. If you've been watching me, you probably understand, like, I'm not the most I'm not like other YouTubers, you know. I love you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I've been told that I'm what is the word? I guess aggressive toward my audience, or I'm not friendly toward my audience. And if that's the case, you know, I apologize. My point, I'm not trying to be unfriendly to the audience. I would think that maybe that could be, people would say you're unfriendly toward the developers of the game, which is, I mean, I spent the money on the game. I appreciate the developers of the game. I'm not trying to just like be all on them and stuff, but come on, like they got a whole Insomniac We Trust before the game even came out. So look, they got enough love. I'm not even dishing out hate. I'm just talking about it from a perspective of a black boy, a coffee-colored boy from an urban environment who dealt with things that other people from urban environments may have dealt with. And when we see this story of this other, you know, urban environment, you know, because it's a particular, there's a whole bunch of different urban youth. And we know that because we've seen all of the stories and movies. But like in real life, like there's a variety of different urban young folk. And I'm not even youth anymore, I guess. Like there's a variety of different urban people, okay? It's not just like this is the black dude from New York, you know. So what the stories to me is interesting. New York, urban, Spider-Man, all that stuff. So I just come at it from a different perspective, you know, and that's really it. But with that being said, I want to really talk about the Miles Morales game and the Spider-Verse. I want to get into like not the differences between the two characters, like Spider-Man in the game and Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse films. I don't want to really talk about the differences between the two Miles Moraleses. I want to first like really talk about the things that they went through, and then like kind of give my opinion on what the commentary or at least what I get from it, you know, because Insomniac and what's their names, Phil Lord and the people that made the Lego movie, and they made the Across the Spider-Verse stuff, you know, what was they trying to say? You know what I'm saying? And then with it all being connected because of the multiverse, like the duality of this is what a Spider-Man story is, and this is what this Spider-Man story is in the game, and this is what the one is in the film. You know, what does that all mirroring mean? You know what I'm saying? Multiverse. all that stuff. So we're gonna talk a little bit about all that, and I even talk about the I ain't like, I appreciate y'all. I ain't trying to go deep into the news stuff, you know, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the Venom thing. I mean, we'll talk about it, but it ain't really that much. His Venom and his. We'll talk about that. But anyway, let's get into I really want to talk about this Miles Morales thing. So and I'm not gonna show clips either. Like, I want to show maybe some clips from the trailer. I show like a clip from the game. It's one part that I'm talking about in the game. I'm gonna show, but I'm not gonna show too many clips because I feel like, yeah, I just don't want to do that. You know, I appreciate you, Sony. I appreciate you. Like, you don't need to. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is me. You see me? It's me. So, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, all right. So in the Spider-Verse movie, okay, because there's some differences between the movie and the game. Like, in the movie, Miles get bit by a spider that's not even from his dimension, which is interesting. Okay, in the game, he get bit by a spider that's from Oscorp, but it was carried by Mary Jane. It was Mary Jane had it on her for some time, and it just didn't bite her. It got off of her, got on Miles, it bit him, and at the end of the first game was when, oh, I got spider powers. Oh, wow, I do too. You know, and then Miles Morales. Okay, so yeah, in the movie as well. So he meets a whole bunch of other spider people. In the movie, his uncle is the Prowler, and his uncle actually, like, but when he dying, is like, hey man, you doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, man. Just keep doing your thing. Just you on your path, walk on your path, you know. And that's what he said. That was sweet, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, he ended up saving the day with the spider people and the collider and all that, and you know, woo, yeah. And then in the next one, Spider-Man 2099, that's the whole issue of, like, you know, Miles, you're the anomaly. Okay, you're not supposed to be here. All right, he says, look, he says, look, okay, what you're doing, I done already did that. It didn't work. The universe blew up. Okay, or he said his timeline blew up. That timeline blew up. Okay, so if you do this, then the whole time everything gonna blow up. Now this is okay. We're gonna talk about that. But you get what he says. Look, I did it. I'm right here standing talking to you right now, and I'm telling you, I did what you're trying to do, and all it did was destroy that timeline. Everybody in that timeline died. If you do what you're going to do, then everybody I think he's saying all the timelines are going to die. Everyone is going to die. So we must stop him. Now, you know, Miles hears that, and he don't accept that. He like, wait, I'm Spider. What you mean? And you know, and then he end up going against, and you know, it's that concept of this is what you have to do. This is what has to happen. This is the way it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be but like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey dog, this is what you got to do. And Miles was like, but why? You know, and that was the end of the movie, basically. I mean, that was the end. I'm spoiling it. I didn't say spoiler alert. Yeah, but that was it. So basically, that was what the nutshell of the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales. You know, he gets bit by a radioactive spider, not even from his dimension, an interdimensional spider, and that just goes on these chain of events in which he's told that he ain't even supposed to be here. You ain't even supposed to be here. Not with them shoes. Look at this. They start roasting him and everything, but that's how it is. So then, all right, let's talk about in the game, Miles Morales. All right, so he bit by the spider. That's Mary Jane, and it's from Oscorp. Mary Jane snuck in, and that mission was sweet. Snuck into the penthouse or whatever, and got the spider on her, and you know, it just bit Miles, and that's how it go. And then he got powers after his dad died. Now, in the Miles Morales movie, he got his powers before his uncle died. In the game, he got his powers after his dad died. So you can say it's a direct result of his dad dying, kind of, because it's like Peter worked with his dad, and Peter working with his dad kind of led to Miles working with him a little bit, and so you could go down that route. So he's mentored by the Spider-Man in his universe. The other Miles Morales, he's mentored by Spider-Man that's not even of his sphere, not even within his anything. So it's like an entirely different dude. So he's mentored by Spider-Man in his sphere. His best friend, Genki Lee, he helps Miles. And he's this dude, the helper, with a man in the chair. That's what Ned, not Genki, that's what Ned in the MCU said. And then at the same time, his other best friend, she's plotting a revenge against the company that killed her dad's, or killed her dad's, what? That killed her brother. They did make him look a little, but they killed her brother. So that's something. She gonna get her revenge because they done killed her brother, and that's how it is. And Spider-Man, he got to protect the city. Her getting revenge is going to destroy the city. It's going to destroy Harlem. It's going to destroy. So Miles got to step in. And because of them fighting, that fight, like ultimately that leads to Finn's death. That fight, that revenge, it just lead. She died. So now I want to really get into all that. Like, I want to talk about my opinion on it, and I want to talk about like the story in that, because for me, I find the differences of my first impressions of like Miles Morales, the game, and of the film, like the two differences of the characters, like the two differences of the stories. Like, grief and trauma is dealt with in these similar, like extremely similar ways, but it's like so similar that like like none of the characters can see the mirroring. Like none of the characters, and it's so interesting. So like when I talk about, and when I say none of the characters see the mirroring, like when I get into the Miles Morales aspect, we can, in the movies though, it's more like Miguel O'Hara, he lost his family, so he seeks so hard to get his family back, like Kingpin, that like in the first film, like Kingpin, he seeks so hard that he does, like he goes a different route. He goes a different route to seek whatever he wanted to get, and in that going that different route, like he gets whatever results he receives, and because of that, he builds this whole world view that the different route, not even like he builds the world view that like, and the multiverse view is a view that spans it spans multi dimensions. He builds this view that like there is one right way. There's one right way. And because he experienced what he experienced, he knows that right way. And that's it. And that's interesting. Because in the Spider-Man game, it's the same code of Spider-Man. Like there's one right way. Like the Miles Morales is a kid, so his experience in life, is minuscule. He know what he's told and the little things that he sees, little things that he experiences. Not to because kids grow up quick. Especially like now, and no, not even like saying that is so disingenuous and so not in touch with reality. Like 13-year-olds is having kids and babies back when doop. Like, so like kids have always been, it's a spectrum of different, it's a spectrum. But with that, like Miles is the kid that's the good kid, and he want to be the good kid, and that good kid thing, what is the good kid? The good kid in the game, he's told by his uncle. So in the movie, his uncle tells him, like, yeah, do your thing. Like, I see you on your path. After he gets shot, he the prowler. He gets shot by Kingpin, And then his uncle say, like, I see you doing your thing. Like, you on your path. Keep going. And Miles, in the video game, his uncle and him, they have a different type of relationship. Well, it's the same, but it's a little bit different. Like, so his uncle tells him, because of the loss of, like, he lost his relationship with his brother, Miles's father. I'm talking about Uncle Aaron, Miles's uncle, lost his relationship with Miles's father, who is Miles's uncle's brother. Okay. Their relationship died because, from Uncle Aaron's perspective, he told his brother, who was a cop, that he was a criminal. So because of that concept of, oh, I told my brother, who was a cop, that I was a criminal, and my brother didn't take that information too kindly and actually completely stopped talking to me, he gives his nephew the advice, like, I told your brother, I told my brother, and it made things bad. Like, don't tell your best friend that you are Spider-Man. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. Just, like, don't do that. And it's interesting because his way of dealing with his trauma, his same way as Miguel O'Hara, and this is like, and I think this is I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it later on, but I'm not more so saying that this is a bad thing. I'm more so just commenting on the notion of, like, having an experience, that experience, like, changing you or making you making whatever you think, whatever, and you live life through whatever filter because of X, Y, and Z. Like, because he told his brother the truth, his brother was like, hey, dog, I ain't messing with that. And then from that, he builds this perspective of, like, well, lying is all right. And he tells Miles that. And the whole thing with Spider-Man is, like, for the greater good, there are whatever, really, like, for the greater good. That's Miguel O'Hara's argument. For the greater good, your daddy life can go because everybody else will live. And it's just interesting, that dichotomy. Then Miles, he wants to be the best Spider-Man he could be, live up to Peter Parker, live up to that moniker. So it's like, I gotta protect the city, and his best friend is, like, consumed with revenge. But the point of her consumption with revenge isn't at that level where she's not, like, available to talk to him, which is interesting because she takes him to their underground hideout and he sees everything, and he makes the decision, instead of telling her that he's Spider-Man, he goes, puts on his suit, comes back and beats everybody up and fights her. But it's the concept of, that's what is the right thing to do. And it's just interesting because, from the perspective of a storyteller, like, the point of stories are to entertain, Yeah. But then outside of that, like the writer, to convey particular messages, ideas, whatever. I think about Shakespeare, and then when I was playing the game, if you've seen my my gameplay walkthroughs of the games, I was talking about some stuff when I was playing the games, and it was interesting. But like, I was talking about how Shakespeare is like the basis, the foundation that's taught to writers and taught to actors and taught to, that's the foundation. And then there are all of these stories and tropes that spin off from Shakespeare and other stories that are adapted from Shakespeare's work. And Shakespeare is like most popular. So like, from that being the most popular And from things being spent off from Shakespeare, like Shakespeare is influential. And my thinking when it comes to the writing always is like, what is the writer trying to influence the audience to think, to hear, believe, whatever, And Spider-Man being such a large property, like that's why my last live stream I talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 and talked about Spider-Man, because Grand Theft Auto is a large property. And to me, in my mind, when it comes to another property that could potentially, like, in my mind, just off the top of my head, compete in terms of making some quality content, making a game that's like at that, like, make a game that has the same marketability and same like profitability, I think of the Marvel characters. I think of Spider-Man. I think, for real, like, that's where my mind go to. It makes perfect sense. 300 million on a film, shoot, 300 million on a game, 400 million, like that's. But I'm also not. I'm in a different space when it comes to that. I'm not in the boardrooms. I'm not. It's different. But that's where my mind go. These stories are like told, in my opinion, for us to gain information and like experience without experiencing. Like, that's why people read, kind of, in my opinion. That's why people, it's the point of like getting an experience or getting some knowledge or getting something that you may not have had without having to go through X, Y, and Z. Like the Shakespeare films, or not films, the Shakespeare plays, they're not necessarily the main characters aren't necessarily heroes. They're not necessarily the good guy. They're the protagonists, but they're not like the good guy. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I'm older. I look at Spider-Man. I look at all of these characters named after animals differently. I look at things a little bit differently now. The handling of the trauma and the grief, I think, is so realistic. That's out of all of that, right? I think it's so realistic. And I'll get into like when I go into like constructive criticism or not even constructive criticisms, but more so a particular perception of the heroes of Miles Morales that could be desired, or that I desire, I'll talk about that a little bit, but I really want to get into it. So the trauma and grief is handled realistically in the sense of like Miles Morales, like he really does. He is a naive kid. He don't really know much. He don't know much about the world, about anything. He don't. Spider-Man literally was like, "Hey, kid, it ain't what happened, but I mean, it was what Tony Stark do in the MCU to Peter. Like, it's, hey, kid." So Miles, he going based on experience and going as he go, as we all do. But like, he's Spider-Man, so there are certain things where perhaps his view like shifts because he's Spider-Man, because he has whatever title, so it shifts. So for me, like, I'm gonna talk about this and I'm gonna showcase this. Like in the game, or for me, I'm urban, and I use that. I'm urban, I use that word because, I mean, I'm inner city. I ain't a gangster. I am nowhere near it. Trust me. Hey, wait, okay. Anyway, all right, so there are certain things that like young people in the city is told, like you don't go in the alleys at whatever. There's certain things that you're told, and one of the things that I was told was like, don't pick up needles. Now, when I talk about things like being, what is the purpose? What is why? What is being shown? What is the audience supposed to receive? What is one of the things that I understand as a young man from the urban environment is that the urban environment is a little bit different, and there may be different individuals within the, I mean, everywhere is different. Let's not get it twisted. All right, the suburbs. Okay, if you play, look, did you see the Spider-Man 2 gameplay trailer? That took place in the suburbs. Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing about the inner city being dangerous when you got dudes jumping out of basements with alien on them, and turning into beasts, monsters eating people, and I don't want to hear it. But with that, it's a particular way that it's not a particular way that you handle yourself. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't pick up a needle. If you see a random needle somewhere, don't pick it up. That's just something. So for me in the game, there was some moments that stood out where I was like, whoa, okay, why he do that? He picked up a needle. Now, if you don't understand what I'm referring to with a needle, I'm talking about, so like in urban environments, there are, in all environments, okay, where all these people, everybody live, it'd be some people doing crazy drugs, people doing nuts stuff, okay, and some drugs they do in needles, okay. Look, before we continue, look, y'all, hello. Every single video on this platform, you have to say whether or not your video is for kids. Okay, even a live stream, all right? Look, it ain't, okay? So with that being said, all right, what I'm saying is, drugs. So don't touch the needles, young man. But he's Spider-Man. So for me, it was interesting because in the game, he picked up a needle, and ain't nothing wrong with, he looking at it, and it's some kind of meds. It's the meds from Finn's brother, because he was sick. And what I'm getting to is that, there are certain things that, there's a cultural thing. There are certain cultural nuances, and to me, the game, it didn't ignore cultural nuances. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying though, he's Spider-Man, so to me, there's a real reason. He ignored. You don't pick up any. I'm Spider-Man. I gotta pick up the needle. I'm Spider-Man. I gotta fight for the city. I'm Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Now you see where I'm at. You was probably sitting there wait, what is he talking about? I feel like the game is in the story. They're commenting on this aspect of with great power comes great responsibility. And what is that power? What is that responsibility? And who grants it? You know what I'm saying? For real. Because of the trauma and grief, then there's a sphere, a worldview that's built, a whole worldview that's created. And that worldview perhaps is serving to the individual that created the worldview. Perhaps it's not, but a worldview can be created, and that is what the commentation, I feel, and it's just interesting because he picked up the needle, and his best friend in the so it's Genki, and then it's also Finn Mason, but in the comics that's the Tinkerer, and Finn is she's a woman of color. And when I look at the game, the amount of women of color in video games, it's a lot. I'm not going there. That's not what but I'm saying, like, there is, for me, ways that stories are told. There's ways that characters are portrayed. There are particular depictions of characters that some people may like, some people don't. When it comes to like women of color in video games, I feel like the depiction is normally, it's skewed. Really, it's skewed, and the circumstances that they find themselves in are normally skewed as well. The circumstance in this game was different, though. It was like, this black girl is best friends with this black boy, and she is traumatized and is grieving, and then overcome with revenge, and with, in her mind, like, great power. She got the power, comes great responsibility. You're gonna take them motherfuckers down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's her worldview. That's her dichotomy. And Miles, his worldview is that same thing, but it's mirrored. It's like, no, and it's so strong that he doesn't have the filter or even and he's young too. He's a kid. So he doesn't have like the know-how to, like, okay, how do I deal with this situation? How do I really navigate my best friend dealing with this? My uncle told me that. And like in the game, like he fights his uncle. He says to his uncle, like, I can't turn my back on the people that matter to me most, and like walks away from him, talking about protecting the city. He got to protect the city. And it's just this, to me, it's just this, this concept, like the sacrifices individuals make for them to get ahead, to do whatever they need to do. You know, the sacrifices individuals make for when it comes to loved ones, when it comes to family, when it comes to all of that stuff, and then misunderstandings that take place from all of that, and the way that people go about dealing with misunderstandings. Like the game commented on that, and it commented on it for me from the perspective of like people of color, which was interesting. Uncle Aaron, he tells Miles to like play with Finn, and Miles listens, but it's this framework of like for the greater good. And it's just so interesting. It's very interesting when it comes to the for the greater good aspect, because like good for who? That's one of the questions and conversations that I'm gonna talk a little bit about as we continue. But so there's all of these unique perspectives of loss. Miles, his perspective of loss in the Spider-Verse is like he's not going to accept the information that 2099 told him. He's like he's saying, you did this and you're standing right here and you're telling me that I can't do it because everybody gonna die, but you just said you did it. Now maybe I'm bastardizing the story. I messed it up. Maybe it's not everyone's gonna die, just the people from that particular timeline is gonna die. Maybe that's the story. Maybe that's, but Miles, he doesn't understand that. You know, he like, hey dog, you talking about my dad? You saying that everybody? What about me? And they like, well, you want to be Spider-Man, right? You know, and if you want to be Spider-Man, that's clearly what's got to happen. At least that's what they say. And if you say no, then they all gonna attack you. They attack them. You know what I'm saying? So that's his perspective. He not like, when there's a will, there's a way. And even if that way is seen to be rebellious, even if it's seen to be whatever it's seen to be, Miles is going to go that route, because he not losing. He can't lose that to be Spider-Man, because in his mind, to be Spider-Man is literally to protect that, to save that, which is interesting because the other Spider people was like, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. But, you know, so then in the game, like his perspective of loss is he lost his dad Like, he lost his dad is gone. So for him, in terms of a mentor, a father figure, someone who was in that field, shoot, Peter Parker fits the bill. And Peter Parker is leading him in a path that Miles Morales resonates with. Like he understands that. So his way of dealing with loss is like, you know, I don't think the Miles Morales in the film's way of dealing with loss is to not deal with it and to run away from it. That's a perspective. But in the game, his perspective of dealing with loss seems more as like moving, and even in the movie is moving forward. Moving forward. Is it moving forward? Like, even if that movement forward doesn't, really have his best friend's interest at heart. Like he has to move forward because of the philosophy that he has, because of the title that he has and the moniker that he took up, which is interesting. And his uncle in the movie is the Prowler. Okay, he's the Prowler, and perhaps his way of dealing with the loss of his relationship with Miles's dad, perhaps his way of dealing with that is him being a Prowler, working for Kingpin, all that. Maybe that's a perspective. But when it comes to the game, his way, that is definitely like his way of dealing with it. Like he was already the Prowler. That's what he told Miles's father. But it's seemingly like that lack of relationship did not help, seemingly, in my opinion. And then in Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, he just dealing with trauma. He just lost he just lost everybody. He mad. He's a vampire. He pissed. he mad. He don't want. What you mean you gonna save your daddy? I'm like, he ain't having none of that. He lost everything, and he feel like he the only person that's gonna make sure don't nobody else lose everything. And that's how the stories go. Batman lost his parents, make sure nobody else lose their parents. Uncle Ben died, I make sure nobody else lose their Uncle Ben, except for all the other spider people that apparently got to lose their uncle. But that's another thing. It's the philosophy. It's the building of the perspective, the building of that real hardwired, logical, emotionally based perspective that cannot be defeated, or but it can. But it's up to the person to decide, whatever. And that's what is very interesting to me. It's very interesting. And Finn, she just in the game, she's like, yeah, we're gonna just blow it up. Like that's who she is, and she can go toe to toe with Miles. Like she can, and they going at it, whoopity boop. And she a woman. She, because that revenge, that all of it. She just hurt, and she dealing with grief, and then dealing with the betrayal of Miles and all of that. So she just dealing with all of that, and that ultimately, like, her and Miles fighting, it results in Miles to pull all that energy, and she gives him the permission to like kill her, like blow her up, which is interesting. As a whole, she felt as if, and I guess that's in some ways like her redemption, but like the story is, to me, is trauma, grief, and like just pain, like, and I guess that's Spider-Man to a degree. Trauma, grief, and pain. And it's so interesting that the end result was Miles blowing her up. It wasn't like her doing something and sacrificing herself. It was like literally him blowing her up. The path that he decided to fight her and blew her up in the name of the greater good, you know? And that's where, and it's just to me very interesting, because then the Miles Morales movie is like, for the greater good, you need to let your dad go. And Miles is like, no, you know? And it's just the difference of grief, of trauma, of just, and also I think the concept of like who's giving what information, you know, the concept of who's like the situation with Miles and his uncle, like that's entirely familiar, you know. The situation with Miles and Finn, that's their best friends. Then the situation with Miguel O'Hara is like he's random Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? And that's really it. He's like big brooding spider dude, and he, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, you talking about. So it's just there's this you can is this difference within filters of world views, perspectives, and everybody their their perspectives all coincide, conflict, and mirror. And it's just so interesting because the end result was Miles blowing her up. The end result of the Across the Spider-Verse film was Miles going to that other universe and then seeing like the other version of himself. You know what I'm saying? It's the and of course, you know, we can assume that Miles is probably going to save his dad and going to, you know, it's probably that's why I think that they could go down the route of loss. You have to accept it, which I think is very good too. I think that's a dope story, like him actually having to come to grips and understand that, you know, it's not that his dad had to die for him to be Spider-Man. It's that his dad was going to die regardless. And it's more so that conversation versus like all these other things, and then really having to understand and deal with that loss, and really like that and maybe that's where they'll go. That kind of reminds me like Superman, not Man of Steel. I love that movie too, by the way. Yeah, I said it. But like in the comics, his father dies from a heart attack, and the whole point is Superman is Superman. And I'm sure if you're a comic book person, you've heard this before. And let me make sure my levels ain't too loud. I've been talking for a minute, and I just want to make sure. I've probably been a little, but if you're a comic book person, you've probably heard this before. But like the whole point of his dad dying from the heart attack is like Superman is this larger than life character. Yet, you know, he can save everybody, but he can't save his daddy from the heart attack, because that's out of his hands. It's out of his control. And, you know, and that like that understanding of loss, that grief, that, you know, trauma, blah, blah, blah. And that's, you know, maybe that's where they'll go with the next Beyond the Spider, wherever it is, Beyond the Spider-Verse. I don't know. They're probably going to make it live action and do all that. Maybe not. Shoot, maybe not. I think it is animated, right? I don't know, but you know, that's how they dealt with it. They really the characters. Maybe they will do that in the future, and the characters, to me, they all mirror each other, and it's just that not being able to see that mirror, you know, not being able to really see that, which is interesting. And that kind of is like what drives everything, that misunderstanding, that miscommunication, that is an interesting point in life, right? Miscommunication driving things, miscommunication and misunderstanding and trauma and driving things. People have a particular perspective of the world being messed up, and that perspective in some ways some people, they operate from that. It drives their life, you know. In some ways, you could argue that Peter Parker, Miles Morales, all of these individuals, they're operating from that perspective that the world is messed up, you know. And you know, you could argue that, and you could even argue that you could not even argue. You could now go down the perspective, go down the have the thought that perhaps that's the reason why their lives are in turmoil. It's not because they literally are, I'm Spider-Man. It's because they have whatever perspective that they have to save the world. The world needs to be saved. If I don't do it, no one will. You know, maybe that the lacking perspective is like a real you know, maybe it's like a messed up thing. Maybe not. It's just perspective. It's just something I got from it. I was, it's something I got. You understand what I'm saying? And that misunderstanding, though, all of that, that really is what drives everybody's relationships going into the toilet, in terms of not everyone, but Finn and Miles, I guess Spider-Man 2099 and Miles, and those that side with Spider-Man 2099 and Miles, even Uncle Aaron and Miles in the game. Like, it's this misunderstanding. Uncle Aaron, he kidnaps Miles, you know. That's how he gonna talk to him. He gonna kidnap him, you know what I'm saying? And Miles, he fights back hard. It's like, so I understand, though, that the my mind goes two places. Okay, so number one, my mind goes to, from the storytelling perspective of telling a compelling, conflict-filled story. It's filled with conflict. It's sweet. It's nuanced. It's about these imperfect characters, because perfect characters, for some reason, wait, let me do that again. It's about these imperfect characters because perfect characters are not interesting. What is a perfect character? I mean, has anyone ever seen a perfect character? We have not these names and made up definitions or identifiers, Mary Sue and all these other things. But, for me, I think you have good characters and bad ones. So that's just where maybe I have a different philosophy. I have a different perspective. And I appreciate all the other perspectives as well. I appreciate the concept of a Mary Sue or whatever, I appreciate those concepts. And perhaps that's a more detailed. You're getting real specific with it. It's that you got your umbrella of bad characters. Now you get specifically into what a bad character is. But, I just I don't think of it like that. But these characters are imperfect. They deal with things. Miles pick up a needle. And they're these things that, like, I think about in everybody. You talk to an older person, and perhaps they may not have regrets, but they'll talk about situations and experiences and circumstances from the perspective of not knowing, or from the perspective of even being in a different frame of mind when going through whatever situation. And that different frame of mind affecting them to the point in which they do X, Y, Z, something they may not have done if they were in perhaps another state of mind. And that's what these stories are about. They're like about that. They're like about, and I love because in Insomnia, they're talking about their tagline is like, be greater together, like be greater. All of these different things. And it's, for me, like the understanding of the story of us as the audience, and you can get whatever you get from the story. You can look at these characters from the point of idolization, from the point of admiration. But you can also look at them from the point of like a individuals that have gone through experiences, and you can perhaps learn how to navigate your own experiences in your own life and not make the same mistakes as whatever. Like, I think about what individuals who read the Bible talk about. Yes, I just mentioned the Bible again because I talked about the Bible on my live streams as well. But individuals that read the Bible, they talk about the point of the Bible is to receive information, to get helpful information. I'm not comparing the comics to the Bible or nothing like that. I am saying, as Shakespeare has influenced all of writing, so has the Bible. And perhaps one of those influences, why do people write? To give information. Why do people read? To receive information, whether it's to be entertained, informed, or both. That goes into it. So my perspective is like, there's Miles got the blinders on. Spider-Man got the blinders on. This isn't a negative thing. This isn't a positive thing. These characters got the blinders on. No, they you know what I'm saying? And that's something that I think a lot of people can really identify with, because shoot, sometimes it seems as if having the blinders on is the only way to do it, to be successful, to whatever. And I just find that interesting. I think that the characters that have these animal iconographies, these animal insignias, are even named after animals, insects, whatever. Like, it's interesting that with the concept of what an animal means, and like, then what do these characters represent? How are these characters acting? How are these characters, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's dope. I really think that's dope. It's like this idea of this character study of the urban black boy and him dealing with the Spider-Man, and he is an urban black boy. I think, shoot, that's sweet. I liked it. I like it, but I learn from looking at it, particular how certain individuals can deal with trauma, how certain individuals can deal with grief. I don't necessarily compare it to myself. A little bit. I think that that's helpful. I think that it's helpful, but more so, I look at it just from like, wow, the reason why I'm talking about this like this is because my point isn't to like bash the games, to bash any of it, like, but the stories in the games, this ain't new. Like, this stuff ain't new. So we can expect and push for more. You know what I'm saying? In this game, this is like a game for kids, and it's like it's a man and a woman fighting Spider-Man Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they fighting like for real. And then when I think about it from my perspective, talking about trauma and stuff, like black people of color, okay, abuse, all of this stuff, like that stuff is like a little, like not I'm not going to use the word triggering, but the idea of the abuse of abuse in general within black families is an idea. So this game showcasing a black woman and a black man fighting to the death, that's like, but I look at it from the perspective of, well, what is the story? The whole point is being consumed with grief, being consumed with all of these negative emotions, and then going down whatever path with those negative emotions. And that's they did it. They told the story. It was something else. That's different. That's different. I mean, Is it for kids? Yeah, sure. I think it's sweet though. I think the perspective. Everybody has their own perspective in the game. Even watch, and I think that's really. I think it's really interesting. They really showcase that. They really showcase the Uncle Aaron, Miles Morales, and then with the films, because of these being the same characters, you can really see like, oh wow, the mirroring of, oh okay. And I just the idea of these characters, like the us as an audience learning from these characters rather than uh, adapt like adapting their lifestyles, morality, and stuff like that. The and I guess I just went to into another place with that, but I'm just commenting on the stories, and I'm commenting on it outside of the perspective of a exaggerated swagger of a black teen, and we all know, what I'm saying, black young folk got swagger, but he web swinging, texting, what I'm saying, walking, so he ain't doing the Toby Maguire, he doing the Cupid shuffle. Hey, he was doing the sausage. That. Hey, that's right. That's right. And with that, the story also talk about some other stuff. Like the story actually hits on some other points. And GameSpot, no disrespect to, like, look. I'm just saying what I got to say. Okay, I'm saying what I got to say, and I think that I want to really talk about. I'm gonna review the game, like outside of talking about the gameplay. The gameplay was sweet, The story though, I felt was something that I was not. Now, growing up, like I was just saying, the same thing with Miles Morales. The experiences you don't have, you have whatever experiences you have. And from that, and that's with everybody, you have whatever experiences you have, and you take that experience and you go on to your new situation, and whatever new situation, and help you use your past experience to inform what you do in your situation, and blase splee, it continues. Let me take a sip of my drink. This is tea. With that, with that continuing, we all like have a choice to make changes. We have a choice. We always have a choice, regardless of like whatever it appears. We always have a choice, which is the that's whew, because sometimes things may appear as if you don't have a choice, but you do. Always. Even like in that situation that Miles was told in the movie, look, your dad has to die for you to be Spider-Man. Now, Miles had the choice to accept that information or to deny it. You always have a choice. Now, so the Spider-Man stories, the whole character is about like making this extreme choice. Making like the most Batman making the most extreme choice possible, having the most extreme response to grief and trauma. That's what these characters are. It's that exaggerated swagger of a human being, like that's what it is. That's what he meant to say. I get it, GameSpot. You ain't racist. That's not a racist. He can't. That's not even. Racism is over. That's what racism is done. So it's 2020. I can't say that. Well, yeah, I can actually. If I looked different, maybe I couldn't. But no, racism. That's a whole nother. I'm gonna make a. Let's go. You hear what I'm talking? I'm talking about worldviews. I'm talking about the trauma and whatever experience you have, and then it filled your worldview, and you live your life, and that's how it is. But is that how it is? And that's a part of the. Oh, let's continue. What I'm saying is, because it's not about whether or not racism is over. It's not. Let's get the exaggerated swagger of a human being. You deal with things. Some things may shock you, and you don't know how to. What do you do? What do you do? And these stories is like, hey, this dude said, I'm about to take this to the next. I'm about to be insane, because that's what they are. They're insane. They're insane. They do the same thing over and over. That's what Albert Einstein said. They're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Hey, you ain't following the law? Put them up. It didn't work. Hey, you ain't following put them up. It ain't work. Hey, it's the. So, like, they deal with trauma and grief extreme. And the stories is compelling, because it's like, hey, shoot, somebody mess with my family. I want to put on a bat suit and go. I mean, I want to get technology and all that. I don't know about dressing up as a bat, going outside, beating up folk. Like, there's plenty of stuff going on in life. Like, you ain't got to do that. You need some counseling. Need some meditation, some journaling. Hey, he went to the League of Shadows. They ain't teach him about sitting down and meditation. Get in touch with them emotions. He using fear. What in the world? But that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother. He looked like the devil. He was like, hey, Batman Begins. He said, I swear to God, it wasn't me. He said, swear to me. Hey, I'm playing. All right. Continue on this topic. On topic. It just goes, they go all the way, left, right, upside down, and circular. It's just, and with that, it's interesting. You'd be like, okay, he about to fight. Oh, he gonna fight Norman for the 17th time. Oh, snap. Oh, Norman coming back again. Oh, it'd be interesting. And that's what was emphasized in this game. Like, they went. Peter Parker ain't never killed Felicia Hardy. At least I don't think so. Peter Parker ain't never killed Mary Jane. And I'm not saying that Finn was not Miles's love interest. That's not where I'm going. But I am saying, like, I think about Romeo and Juliet. I think I have because framework perspective. What I just said. When you go to school, they teach X, Y, and Z, and you learn bloop, bloop, bloop. So, like, I have a particular perspective, like Romeo and Juliet, and not to say. I'm not saying it was the exact same story, because in Romeo and Juliet, it's the families, the Capulets. It's not. But I'm saying the trope of, like, and there's probably a better example of a Shakespeare play. But I'm saying, like, that example of, like, they're like they're not the star-crossed lovers. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that it just don't work out. Like, Finn Mason and Miles Morales cannot exist in that universe like that. Miles Morales has to be Spider-Man, and in order for him to be Spider-Man, like, that old Miles Morales has to die. Like, that old before Spider-Man, which included Finn, has to go. Which is an interesting perspective. Like, that's what I got from it. It's the same thing with the Spider-Man 2099, Like, Finn is a part of Miles's old life. So if he's going to be Spider-Man, then it's not like he has to kill Finn, but it's like he has to stand up for the Spider-Man mantle. He has to protect the city with by any means necessary. Um, and that's just what he that's what he does. And Finn, she's gone. I mean, she's not gone because actually, like from what I got from the game, Finn wasn't gone. Like Finn was there. Miles was gone. Miles was he was in his Spider-Man bag. He was not because Finn was honest with him, and she Miles did not be honest, and then that like kind of changed. Like that made they relationship a little rocky, and Miles didn't like work with her. He did work with her a little bit, but it did not pan out with him really them both jiving. It didn't work. Miles Morales in the past had to go, and in order for him to be Spider-Man, that past includes Finn, so she got to go too, and that's just from a storytelling point of view, from what the multiverse and all of that, like that was interesting. That's what I got from it. It was an interesting story, and it dealt with the male and the female fighting, and the female sacrificing herself, but like allowing the male to like kill her, and it was just interesting. It was an interesting story. And Insomniac, I get it. For some people that don't sleep, you woke. That was good. You did a good job with that story. And I'm not saying it from the perspective of like the black man and the black woman fighting. That's great, because that's a whole, like if I go that route, Westworld perspectives again, I go that route, then I start thinking about minstrel shows. I start thinking about the black people being subjugated to oppression and racism on the screen and on the stage, and being made fun of in blackface, and oh, look at this, is just another film, another piece of agenda going against the black race. Like you can go down that route if you want to really go, because I mean, I'm not making stuff up, like, but the world view that can also come from that is, it's more so a commentation. It's commenting on particular ideologies and ideologies clashing, and people not being able to see past ideologies and see people, but instead just see ideologies, just see arguments, and see revenge and pain and anger. It's like, instead of like recognizing the spirit within, you know what I'm saying? Philosophical, feel good, So like that's kind of weird, that's what I'm getting from it. Okay, okay, Zodiac. Okay, now so see, this is the thing. So when I go back to it though, like with the story, it is still, the man is you over the boat. Okay, and and it's done tastefully, like in a Spider-Man way, but my mind definitely was like, whoa, I'm like fighting her. Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, but that didn't necessarily go, because she ended up having his kid, and through some not right way. Superman and Lois Lane, I don't think he fought her. Wonder Woman, he fought her, but maybe he didn't kill her. I don't think so. Peter Parker never killed Felicia Hardy. I don't think he killed he did kill Mary Jane, actually. I do know about that. If you know about that, he killed. Well, hold on. Let me, before we look. Okay, look. All right, you okay? Okay. Now Peter did kill Mary Jane in one of the comics. It was like the what if thing. It was like he was old and stuff. He killed her. She like had cancer because he has radioactive sperm. And yeah, they wrote that. Yeah, they wrote that. I mean, they wrote he did a deal with the devil for his aunt to not die. They wrote that too. So, I'm his storyteller, the Bible, all of it. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's an interesting story. Shoot, ain't got nothing to do with us. But I mean, I was just saying, people be picking up, maybe watching, reading, but all right. So I thought the game was cool. I thought the story was cool. I thought the story was like real different. I did not anticipate that. I did not. I knew Tinkerer was gonna. I said in my video it was gonna be Gwen Stacy. Like I said, it was I have a video up, the obvious twist or whatever, and like I said, it's gonna be Gwen Stacy, and people was like, I don't know, I don't think it's gonna have to do with Peter. I think it's gonna more have to do with Miles. At the time, Finn was not like a character that we knew about. Like we didn't know Finn. We knew like Finn is Phineas Mason, who is the Tinkerer in the comics. And Insomniac Games, they decided to change that character and make it a black woman and make it Miles' best friend. And that's fine. So like there's no way I had no idea that it was going to be Finn. I knew it was going to be a female that was like connected to somebody. I knew, and I thought because of the movies in the comics with Gwen, they're going to do Gwen. That's what I thought. And they ain't introduced Gwen yet, so that'd be how they introduce Gwen. But no, they didn't do that, which is something. They did her as Finn. And she, she's sweet. She's sweet. She was beating him up. She was just tormented. And Miles, he was dealing with his stuff too. And the story really, the story really taught it. The whole point is these varying perspectives. It's like these different perspectives. And which perspective, not necessarily is correct, but which perspective will prevail to a degree. And it's not even from the perspective of which perspective will prevail, but it's more so like the different ideologies clashing and the individuals behind the ideologies, those individuals being the face of the ideologies, And I think that's an interesting story. Is it something that kids will understand? Yeah, clearly. I mean, I'm not a kid, but am I? No, I'm not. But I think that it's something that people will subconsciously be able to pick up. Maybe some people from my background will like, and not my background, people that know me. I mean, like my background in terms of people from urban environments. They may pick up on some of the things that I've talked about, even consciously. Like, okay, he fighting her, maybe. And they made the choice to put that in this game. This particular game, Spider-Man Miles Morales had him fighting a woman, and it was his best friend. And I think that's an interesting perspective, an interesting story to tell. And I think it's commentary a little bit. I think that it's a commentary. Yeah, that's where I guess what I get from it. It's commentary. It's not necessarily a commentary on the state of people of color, and if it is, then that's Insomniac's comment that black men fight black women, which I don't think is necessarily their comment, but I do think that it raises like an interesting story. It raises an interesting point of like grief and trauma and individuals really standing behind and for that grief and trauma, which is I don't know if a lot of people get that. Bruce Wayne didn't overcome the grief and loss of his parents. He didn't overcome that trauma. Spider-Man didn't overcome that trauma. Peter did not. He never overcame the trauma of his uncle. It's the idea is to that experience changed them, and that experience perhaps changed them for the better. But the concept of them overcoming and moving forward, I think you can question it because of there being a constant battle of the philosophy, being a constant battle with like themselves, being a constant, and it's of course the struggle is always existing off as all factors of life. People, you go through things, but within like their moral code and philosophy, there's just this. At the end of the game, Miles asked Peter, like, does Spider-Man ever become easier? Does it ever become easier? And like Peter says no. He says no. So no. So and for me, I really do appreciate that aspect of storytelling. You're telling a story of like these people that are normal people, but they're going through these extraordinary situations, and they're in these extraordinary situations, and they are normal people. That's why they have these. Miles just listens to his uncle to lie. That's why his uncle does tell him to lie. Like, that's why Finn does, because she can become consumed with revenge. Like, these stories are telling these imperfect people, and I think that's interesting. I think that is dope, and I appreciate that. I think that with the Miles Morales like movie is like really, to me, showcasing the concept of grief and loss, and helping facilitate a conversation within society, by way of this, by way of the film and by way of videos like this, about grief, about trauma, about loss, about the mind. All this multiverse talk, like, it's just interesting to me. I think it's very dope. Very dope, actually. I thought the story was dope. Do I go, why is he fighting a woman? Like, from a storyteller, from a writer's perspective, like, out of all the things yeah, I do that. That's exactly where my mind go. But at the same time, it's not about, why did they do that? They should have did this, like they did that. So like, what does that mean? Like, I think it's interesting. I do think it's cool. And I'm looking forward to like where they go next with it. Like with Venom, Venom gotta be playable. Venom, of course, but I already said this. I already tweeted this is old. Venom gotta be playable. Venom, you gotta have a boss battle against the spider people as Venom. Then you gotta play as one of the spider people fighting Venom. Then you gotta play as one of the spider people fighting the other spider person. You gotta do it. Let us as the gamer choose. But we have to do it. You can't let that go. We have to play as Spider-Man and fight Spider-Man. And we have to play as Spider-Man and fight Venom. And we have to play as Venom and fight Spider-Man. If not, even both of them. Both of them. Shoot, they probably would do it, though, where it would be like Peter would become Venom. So you would start off fighting like normal. Maybe you would start off fighting normal or big Venom, and then as the fight continues, he becomes smaller as he's beating him up. And then maybe they do that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what they do. But hey. But Miles in the game, though, he's dope. He's a dope dude. He's just going through it. He's in these extraordinary situation or extraordinary circumstances, and he's figuring it out. And shoot, I feel like that's everybody in a way. We all Miles. We all Peter. We all Spider. In that realm. And also, when I'm saying earlier, I was saying like the concept of Spider-Man being negative. I'm talking about coming from a place of like grief and loss and trauma without real construction, without constructively coming from a place of trauma and grief versus lashing out and, like fighting. Like, I think I think that's what I'm. That's it's like Spider-Man kind of lashes out a little bit, a little bit, and that's the point though. That's why we watch. That's why we gravitate toward it because it's like, and we all want to web you up, talk that shit. Talk shit, I'm gonna web you up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I think Miles Morales is handled pretty dope in the game. I think in the movie he's handled dope. I think it's like the showing the dichotomy, differences of opinions and differences of perspectives, and I think that's dope. And like probably in the MCU they will do Miles Morales. Maybe they will. I guess, like, sure. And if they do it, like, they'll probably introduce it in Tobey Maguire. Like, you would do Spider-Man 4. Like, straight up. Spider-Man 4. And continue the story, but then introduce Miles Morales. Would they kill Tobey? I mean, you don't have to. You really don't. You really don't. And then they do the multiverse and have it where it's Tom Holland and I don't know. The MCU and all that stuff I feel like it's all changing. I feel like even entertainment in general, like it's all changing. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe the MCU, maybe it'll be different. Maybe all of that'll be different. I don't know. I haven't even seen. I saw the first episode of Secret Invasion. I ain't even see like the rest of it. Here, I'm gonna look at the chat for a minute, y'all. We're gonna look at the chat. I appreciate y'all for watching. I really do appreciate y'all for watching and for tuning in. And here let's read some of the chat. You said people be pissed if they killed Tobey. I mean, yeah, that would be. I don't know. I don't think it's that necessary. Do it with Garfield, but you don't have to. They gotta kill Garfield. Maybe you don't have to kill. You don't have to kill Spider-Man. You don't have to kill Spider-Man at all. You just have it where it's two Spider-Man people, and then I don't know. But I feel like what Sony is really trying to do, they're really trying to do like their own Avengers thing. Like they're gonna have like Emma Stone, they're gonna have Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, then they're gonna have like a Miles Morales. They're gonna have like all of them together, and they're gonna go against. Who would they go against? Like, Norman Osborn would be sweet, but they need to. I don't know. They're going to do like Sinister Six, Norman Osborn, Venom, like do all of them in a Craven. Like, I don't know. I would watch it. I would watch it. I would watch it. Thoughts on Andrew returning? I mean, he would be sweet. He would be sweet if he came back. I think they're gonna do the movie with all of them in it. But I feel like entertainment is changing a little bit. Right now they on strike, so they have to film it outside of America. So and then what's interesting. What's interesting is Miles Morales. Finn, Miles' best friend, dies. So is Spider-Man 2 Harry? Like, sticking with that, killing off all the people from their past. You gotta kill Aunt May. You gotta kill. Like, that's what they do. Russia, you send me a role proposal. Hey, I got you, dog. Hey, you email. I got you, dog. I got you. I appreciate it. Hey, that'd be sweet. A lot of stuff going on. He said, I think it's fine. No need for Tobey or Andrew to come back since No Way Home. Okay. All right. Stuart 2727. What are the strong themes other than trauma that you see for Spider-Man stories? Well, so like in the stories, loss. Like, so I've been talking about trauma. I haven't mentioned the word loss, but like I'm talking about loss and grief. Like that's a big thing. Is loss, trauma, and then also like humanity. So for the positive aspects, and not saying loss and these other things are negative, but like the humanity aspect, just everything that I was talking about, the flawed nature of these characters. That's one of the appeals to like the to the comics. That's the appeals to the stories. Like people are not perfect. People are not perfect. I'm gonna do that because the concept of perfection is not even it's subjective. There's no universal perfect concept. Everything is subjective. One person loves this right here. They love this tack. Oh man, yellow tacks. That's where it's at. If you don't like it, I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people love and other people don't care. So it's just different perspectives. And I think that that aspect of that different perspective of so the flawed characters. Some people identify with flawed characters. I feel like everybody really identifies with, but people want to see that, and then people want to identify and hear that human flawed story, and that's what Spider-Man be doing. He be flawed. It's the concept of even the best stories are the ones where Peter's life is hell. It's like, I mean, I get it though, because his conflict is interesting. I get it. You know what I'm saying? He said, I have a question to Venom. If you were tasked to give Spider-Man a new love interest, how would you introduce her and how would you write her? Oh man, why would I introduce a new love interest to Spider-Man? Why? They've done that. I mean, Spider-Man, they say, has the most love interest out of all the superheroes, which is interesting. But I mean, do he need a new love interest? Like, hey, ain't he struggling with Mary Jane still? Cause he did that deal, so I don't know. He did that deal, so that's been retcon? I don't know. I would honestly just have it. So okay, I thought it was very interesting in the Ultimates, where he transferred into the universe and he found out about Gwen. He saw Gwen, like, that's nuts. In the film, imagine like that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man seeing that Emma Stone like Spider-Woman. That would, hey, and Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, they could act like, that'd be sweet. And Andrew Garfield, but also, whatever. I don't know how I would introduce her. I feel like Mary Jane is, if I was to introduce a new love interest in the comics, they had Silk, because she was Cindy Moon. She got bit by the same spider as Peter, and she loved him or something, had a crush on him or something. And I think they got together. Yeah. I don't know what else. Mary Jane. I'd have Mary Jane, and it would be like it would be like human. It would be like where Peter like moves out of that protection thing, like in the game, how it was like he was being overprotective toward her and probably was stalking her like he stalked Gwen in the Spider-Man movies. Like it would be like not superhero at all. Probably like, I feel like their relationship too they're both very funny. I feel like so it would be more so like them laughing and joking. I don't know. You asked me that type of question. What type of question? I appreciate the question. I don't know. Just Mary Jane though. I think Mary Jane. Stan Lee said Gwen Stacy was Peter's definite love interest, but like she died. So dang, I don't know. You said, why can't I super chat? So you cannot super chat right now because I am not in the YouTube partner program. I left. Remember, I was not on YouTube for some time. So in order for me to to make money from YouTube, I have to have my watch hours. My look, I love doing this. Okay, like, will I make money from YouTube? Hopefully, yeah. Again, yeah, hopefully. But that's not really. Look, I just want to talk to y'all, okay, and do my show. I appreciate though trying to super chat. Hey, I appreciate that. As soon as I get the watch hours, super chat, please. Hey, I'll be showing all the super chat comments and all that stuff. I show some comments, but yeah, I appreciate that. So I saw y'all comments earlier saying something about it was a new trailer that was released. Is that the case? Like, I know there was a panel that happened today, and I know there was a panel that happened today, and let me see. I know there was a panel that happened today, but I don't know. And I know, and I'm going to talk about the Venom picture and all that. And people's like, is he playable? Yeah, great, he playable. Like, look, we've been doing this, man. We've been doing it. He better be playable. It ain't like, to me. It's why wouldn't he be? Come on, Insomniac. And then if he not, then it's like, well, okay, you made a new Spider-Man game on the PS5 with Venom in it. And we played Ultimate Spider-Man back in 2000, whatever. Venom was in it. We played as him. So what gives? You know, that's the energy. For real. That's how everybody is like. And they know that. So do what it do. And I think they're going to do what it do. Come on. They're going to do what it do. Yeah, I think, is there a new trailer? Here, let me look. And then I'm going to read more of y'all comments. It says, Stuart 2727, Stuart 2727, he said, their dynamic was so amazing. Gwen returning would have so much potential for emotional drama between them. Peter would perhaps have to learn she's not his Gwen and move on so she can be her own person. Yep. That's sweet. That will be, I think that's an interesting story. Especially like from the audience, because like, that's sweet. And of course it would be all the Spider people. So it would be kind of like and I didn't talk about none of the stuff on my channel. So we're going to be talking about the Spider-Man stuff. But in the No Way Home movie, like dang, I just forgot what I was about to say. But yeah, okay. In the No Way Home movie, how it was like the Spider-Man, they was just talking, and it wasn't like, I guess I went into the movie not because I saw the movie way after it came out, y'all, way after, like way after. I did not see that movie when in theaters, and I did not. I saw that movie way after, and I was assuming that there would be more dialogue between the Spider-Men. Like, it was going to be more about them, like, for real Spider-Man. But it wasn't, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think that's because potentially they're going to do something later on. Potentially, that's what I think. Maybe. He said, I would love a boss fight against Black Suit Spider-Man as Miles, right? Come on, get it cracking. That's what it's got to be. Christopher Gilbert, do you have a PS5? I do not have a PS5, but I don't have one because what am I going to play? What is y'all playing? I'm going to play Spider-Man when it come out. I get a PS5 for that, but like, ain't nothing out. What is y'all? What came out? Nothing. Horizon. What else? Nothing. So I don't know. I don't know. No, I got a PS5. I ain't even got the new Xbox. What? I got a PC? There ain't no new games. Where the games at? Spider-Man 2 gonna be sweet. Spider-Man 2 gonna be sweet. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay. And I get the PS5 for that. Here, I'm trying to see though. Okay, so I'm about to go on here. I'm about to look. We're gonna see if it is something streaming. Or not streaming, like if it's a new trailer. Because if it is a new trailer, hey, we check it out. Is it a new trailer, y'all? Y'all said it's a new trailer. I'm gonna talk about the Venom thing, and I'll show that picture. But if it's a new trailer, shoot, it is 17 minutes ago. Oh wow, I'm about to be like a reaction. This is reaction now. We about to react. I'm about to be in the Nah, I'm about to be real. I'm about to be real. When I ain't even gonna hold y'all up. I ain't go front. We gonna look at this, dog. Hey, this is new. This say 17 minutes. It's like I planned this out. I did, but I didn't. All right, hold on. We're going to make it. I want to see this. What they doing? What we got going on here? Can I do that? Oh, I can make it full screen. Cool. Okay. Actually, we're not going to make it full screen. Is it? Okay. All right. Here we go. Play. Oh, snap.
A lot's happened in the last 10 years. It's a miracle I'm even sitting here now. I got a second chance. I'm gonna take advantage of that. But I need you with me, Pete. We're gonna heal the world.
He gonna use his blood.
Hey guys, this is my best friend Harry.
Hey, good to meet you.
New job, huh? Still gonna have time for tutoring?
We'll figure it out. I didn't know there were bears in these woods. Hey, MJ, I have another name for you. Craven. He's here on some kind of hunt.
You know, if you need me, I'm just a call away.
Lee, you don't know what you took from me.
All Miles talks about is how to be a better Spider-Man. How to help you.
What the hell's going on with Pete?
He's not himself. Go help him.
This was our dream. I'm not going to lose him.
We're going to heal the world.
Oh, shit. Hey. Okay, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Okay. Whoa. Y'all saw that? Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait. I should play that again. Because I liked that. Did y'all see that? Wait. And we going to talk about... Wait. Hold on. I got to do that one more time. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, snap. Y'all saw that? Hold on. One more time with it. Wait a minute.
A lot's happened in the last 10 years. It's a miracle I'm even sitting here now. I got a second chance. And I'm gonna take advantage of that. But I need you with me, Pete. We're gonna heal the world.
Hey Guys, this is my best friend Harry.
Hey, good to meet you.
New job, huh? Still gonna have time for tutoring?
We'll figure it out. I didn't know there were bears in these woods. Hey, MJ. I have another name for you. Craven. He's here on some kind of hunt.
Know if you need me, I'm just a call away.
Lee, you don't know what you took from me.
All Miles talks about is how to be a better Spider-Man. How to help you.
What the hell's going on with Pete?
He's not himself. Go help him.
This was our dream.
I'm not going to lose him. We're going to heal the world.
PlayStation.
Now, wait a minute. What? Now, first of all, them graphics. Let's talk about. Wait a minute. Now, y'all saw that. Now, if you, I don't know if the stream did watch it. I'm at. Whoa. Okay. Hey, I like how Mary Jane looked. Hey. Whoa. Okay. Wait a minute. What's happening? Okay. Dude. Y'all saw that? Hey, that looked good. I'm not even going. Of course. I'm right now. Hey, I'm feeling that. That was something. Hey, let's talk about it. Wow. Let's talk about it. Shoot. Why not? Cause y'all saw that right there. That was I like that. Look, smile for Venom. Marvel Spider-Man 2 team previews their spin on a classic villain. Okay, so like what we just saw, they're making it look like Venom is Harry. That's what I would assume. I would assume they're going the Ultimate Spider-Man show route, and we're gonna have Venom be Harry. Venom's not gonna like be Harry in the sense of like he needs to shave. Harry Osborn is the person that's, he's gonna be. Okay, so it's saying that wait, what did I say? Tony Todd, the horror genre's Candyman. Okay, yep, we know that. So we gonna read a little bit of it because y'all read this, didn't you? You know what is going on. Yeah, do y'all know? If you didn't, okay, so let's just read a little bit of it. Okay, so they said that they cast it and it was gonna be freakier figuring out who they're gonna cast. Okay, so Brian Intihar, senior creative director at Insomniac, he said one of the things that I was avoiding for as long as possible because I was so scared of who we were going to get the voice. Or he was avoiding for so long because he was scared who they're gonna get the voice. He said the previous Spidey game of 2018 sold 33 million copies as of June 2022. So you understand the comparison between Grand Theft Auto. You already know it's Spider-Man. Okay? So Brian Intihar, he acknowledges that we knew it would be so anticipated and that people would have a lot of opinions on it. Absolutely. Tony Todd, enter him. Known for The Crow, The Rock, The Man from Earth, and Candyman. So it says that Intihar heard a few lines of Todd's deep growling voice in the trailer for 2021's Candyman. It just so happened that Todd had also submitted an audition tape for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Everything we talked about with Venom, that sense of strength, that sense of fear, that sense of overwhelming, so different from Peter. Tony embraces that completely in the performance. Is clearly the character is playable. That's why we passed y'all. Venom, come on. Why wouldn't he be playable? Why wouldn't you see what they doing? They gotta make the best Spider-Man game. They gotta make the best. Look, that's what I be talking about. Like, I recently I watched some of my older videos. I've never watched like my older videos, so like I didn't even know. And this is kind of weird. I didn't really know like all of y'all was watching, and that's a little weird. I knew, but I didn't know. So like like Evan Falarka and all of them when they was that was years ago when they was he was pissed because I was talking about the game and the gameplay being, to me, when we were seeing it, I was saying that for the first game, the gameplay looked like the old Spider-Man games, and he was not having that shit. He ain't like that. And my whole point though was like the games can be better, it can be good. Yes, Venom needs to be playable. Like it's not yeah. So how they talking about like the character and they're comparing the performance of the voice to Peter, like it's because he's playable. There's no other reason. Ooh, did it just minimize? But there's no other reason for that. Okay, so I'm gonna keep reading. So it said that they can exclusively reveal a new look at Venom before he heads to San Diego Comic-Con. It's really interesting when you start thinking about what makes him different than Spider-Man. The symbiote is often known as an allegory for the darkness that the host is fighting against. So what makes him an anti-Spider-Man? Okay. He said it began with the post-credit scene at the end of the first game, after players worked their way through the story of Peter Parker's battles against a Doc Ock-led Sinister Six while guiding the young Miles as he becomes a web-slinger of his own. They found a short sequence involving Peter's bestie, Harry Osborn. Harry was absent for the events of Marvel's Spider-Man, but as Peter and Mary Jane learn through expert sleuthing, he's been secretly undergoing an experimental medical procedure in the hopes of curing him of what the heck? Ashtaron? How you say that? What is that? How you say that? Ashtaron? Is that real? Ashtaron syndrome? What is that? Can I Google this? Is it okay to Is it okay to Google? I don't have no words pop up. No pictures. Okay. It's a rare heritable neurological disorder with additional organ systems involved as well, especially the liver and sympathetic nervous system. Patients present symptoms affecting their cognitive function, psychiatric health, movement control. Dang. It says that the condition is named. Wow. What is the cause? What does it say? I know this is just a video game, but I want to read a little bit. Shoot. As there are additional conditions that might have a similar clinical presentation, diagnostic workup of individuals suspected of Ashtaron should exclude the jargon. They go to jargon. Okay. Yep. So we're going to go back to the article. Okay. So, all right. Brian Intihar. So the illness that claimed his mother's life years earlier. Oh wow, so his mother died from that. The post-credit scene reveals Harry has been in stasis chamber in a secret lab in his father Norman Osborn's home, and a symbiote, the alien species, is part of this mysterious procedure, or the mystery procedure. They said that they are clear fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They used the post-credit scene, and then a separate one at the end, like when they chose his powers. He said, we wanted to try something very different, and I don't think you can get much more different from Doc Ock than you do Venom. Intihar explains, it's about power, it's about strength, it's about being slighted. It's about Peter being involved much more in the creation of Venom. I think that's what attracted us, so, using his blood. One of the things that is great about Spider-Man as a character is he's always got to, or DNA, he's always got to make sacrifices. Spider-Man always got to make sacrifices. That's what we was talking about earlier. The symbiote provides a lot of grist for that mill, so to speak. Previous materials released for the game tease a sequel that involved Peter, now infected by the symbiote. They use the word infected. Now infected by the symbiote as he frantically works with Miles to track down Dr. Kirk Connors, which is a payoff from yet another post-credit scene from the previous games. It truly is the MCU of gaming. Them saying that this is Entertainment Weekly, so like Wolverine is going to be connected to this. Then that's what that means. Dr. Connors has the ability to help Harry's condition, but he's dealing with his own transformation into the monstrous lizard. Other familiar Marvel characters like Kraven the Hunter will be popping up as well. Wait, what? They said other familiar. This is so marketing because this is a Spider-Man character, but he is Marvel. But that's what I'm saying. This is MCU. They go the game's gonna be connected. Great, cool. And because they got a Kraven movie coming out, they called him a Marvel character. Okay. I'm with it. He is a Marvel character. That's okay. According to Paquette, the story is about what happens when the darkness takes over. It's not just Peter who's impacted by the symbiote. It's the loved ones and the family around the host who has to see what's happened to the person that they love. There's a lot of juicy drama that we can get from that. So going back to what we was talking about earlier, family and the loss and all that. As for the look of Venom, Chu confirms there are specific story details that had a direct impact on the character's design. The spider insignia is one of them. One of the challenges we had throughout the production was, how much does Venom talk? I remember we did some concepts early on of, does Venom have lips? Does he laugh? Does he smile? Does he frown? It's a fine line between making this creature scary and intimidating, but then also, I guess, relatable. Okay. For us, Venom is the host plus the symbiote Intihar adds. You don't get Venom without both of them being bonded together. What Tony represents is that bond. I think, if anything, casting Tony made us feel more confident in the visual design of the character. Okay, and that picture that is at the front right here is what we see at the end of this. Ooh, that's loud. Wow. Oop, I'm trying to pause it right on. There you go. Wow. They said, does he have lips? Does he smile? Does he frown? Does he talk? Yes. Yeah, I guess, right. I mean, yeah. This trailer was good. They did it. This game gonna be sweet. I like how it looked. The graphics look good. I like that. He said he got it. Now, like, okay. Like, these look good, man.
But I need you with me, Pete.
Look at that.
We're gonna heal the world.
People don't like that face that Peter got, but I don't care. Look at that. I like how that looked. The graphics with it. Look at that. Look at that.
This is my best friend.
Look at that. He got his Killmonger going on. Okay. Miles Morales. This Miles Morales. And that kind of looked like well, I mean,
Hey,
yeah.
good to meet you.
Good job,
That's
huh?
sweet.
Still gonna have time for.
Wow, and I like how the they faces look like, yo, like that looks sweet. Wow.
Tutoring?
At the stream, it look a little bit darker probably, but it don't look that dark on the Wow, that's something else, okay? And then the bears. Now this thing, when I first saw this, I was thinking about that game. What's up with that? It's that game. I ain't never played none of them games. Baldur's Gate, and they having sex with bears. Like, ain't that illegal? What's going on? But hey, man, it is what it is. You just gotta look at it. If you're gonna be Venom or Spider-Man, you wanna go fight him, go ahead. Spider-Man fighting him right here. He about to,
I didn't know there were bears in these woods. Hey, MJ.
wow, and he flying. Look at Mary, and look at that. Wait, that looked like Uncharted. That looked like Uncharted, y'all. Like Mary Jane, how she was looking right there. Look, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Whoa. These video games is, come on, man. Come on. Wow. Wow. This is right. This is sweet.
Name for you, Craven.
Wow. It's something else,
Some kind of
man.
hunt. Know if you need.
And they didn't, so it didn't crash landed. So the symbiote, that's how the symbiote, it didn't crash landed. Cause it's supposed, it was a mission, something, crash landed.
Know if you need me, I'm just a call away. Lee, you don't know what you took from me.
He mad at Mr. Negative
Miles
because
talks
his
about
dad.
how to be a better Spider-Man. How to help you.
What the hell's going on with Pete?
He's not himself. Go.
Oh wow, was that? And that's Peter right there. Like he about to attack
What the
Mary
hell's going on
Jane.
with Pete?
He's not himself.
Oh yeah, so this the fight. This when they gonna fight. This when they go. Hey, let me tell you, you dog, Miles. Yo, come on, Insomniac. Y'all gotta do it. Y'all ain't getting no sleep. Y'all woke, so get it done. Peter versus Miles. Miles versus Peter. Then have it Venom versus both of them. Venom versus one of them, or whatever. It's probably gonna be like that. Like it would be Venom versus Peter, probably, and then Venom would lay that smackdown. Then that's when Miles got to come in. But or they should really do it where you play as Venom and fight both of them. Fight one of them and then fight both of them, and then you. That's what they should do. Make it where we choose to shoot. Hey, this is sweet, dog. Cause right here, this is that. You know, Miles got to come lay that smackdown. Yo.
Go. Help him.
Who is all those folk? Who is that? Who is all them people, real quick?
What the hell's going on with Pete?
He's not himself.
Let me
Go.
see all them people.
Help him.
Cause that's the gameplay. It just turns to the gameplay moment. That spider symbol or that spider sense about to peer over his ear. They about to attack. They about to hit their shoe. You know. Who is them Craven's folk? Okay, where they at? They in Craven's house. That's Craven's house, right? Look at them. Look at that floor. Look at them graphics. Look at them graphics. See, you asked, did I have PS5? No. This is PS5. Look at this. PC, though, you know, that's 2 years, 3 years, though. Look at this. Keep it going. Wait, because it's supposed to, because it's these people back here, I don't know who them, I'm assuming this is Craven's house. These is Craven's folk. And I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? Lizard is screaming, and that's like affecting him. Okay. This is my breakdown. I don't know. I'm just looking at it, y'all. I'm watching it for the first time with y'all. This is sweet. So it's a breakdown. Okay. And look at the graphics. Man. Dang, man. He losing control.
We're going to heal the world.
Wow. That's sweet. Wow. You see that? Wow. Them great. Hey. Wow. Wow. That looks sweet. That look cold. Them graphics look sweet. That gameplay looked weak. I mean, it look, you know, he could fly, but and you got the tentacles and all that. The graphics was looking a little not good. It was looking the same. That was the problem with the last trailer. The graphics was looking the graphics in it. Now it's just cutscenes, but it looked good. That looked good. That looked really good. I liked it a lot. That was amazing. Wow. That's right. And it was during the stream too. That's sweet. I like that. Wow, that was good. That was good. I think, hey, it's gonna be a good game, right? It looked like it's gonna be good. Oh, I didn't mean to press play. It looked like it's gonna be good. I would think it's gonna be good. The story, shoot, that looked. He said, I'm not gonna lie. Look next gen. It did look next gen. Oh, by the way, I should have said this earlier. If you don't want to, you can cash at me if you don't want to, because you can't do the super chats. I really appreciate y'all. That's some stuff. Yo, man, I didn't process that until like I really appreciate y'all for even just that gesture, trying. I really appreciate that. My stuff is in the description if you want to do anything like. But I appreciate it. Wow. Anyway, that looked amazing. That looked really good. It looked like Uncharted. It like how Mary Jane with the hair, like that looked like Uncharted. It looked, and I'm not saying the previous game didn't look, great, but you know what I'm saying. That was next gen with it. That was some, dang man. Microsoft ain't got nothing. I mean, they just bought Activision, so he said it'll be a strong 7 out of 10. Dang, you think it's gonna be a 7 out of 10? Really? You think so? He said Craven live in New York. LOL. What if that's not in New York? What if it's not in? What if that part not in New York? What if it's like, just like stuff in the sewer? What if, there was a mission on the at the prison in the last game. Like, what if it's something like that? Red Dead Redemption. You can go out of the country and stuff. Something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Harry is Venom. Or at least seemingly. Craven and Venom, like, are these misdirects? Is there... Last of Us 2 was really long. Very long. It's a game. It's got a big budget. Spider-Man 1 is Miles Morales was like 6 hours, right? Something like that. Spider-Man 1 was like 12, something like that, maybe. If the game is long, like Last of Us and stuff, that's 30 hours. Then this is a misdirect. I think it's going to be Norman. It's going to be Goblin or something else in there too. But that's not necessary. I guess Craven and Venom, that's pretty big. And then what I'm talking about with playing as them and stuff, that's going to be sweet. Playing as Venom and then playing as Miles Morales, like playing as Spider-Man. Shoot, it's going to have another character in there too. Probably play as Mary Jane again. You should implement my idea. Make it like Grand Theft Auto a little bit. Mary Jane driving vehicles while all this crazy stuff is happening. Like, and you driving, and while Spider-Man web swinging and crazy stuff, Venom, and that should be. It should be like the last battle should be so sweet. It should be like building, and have all of the gameplay characters and all of the elements there. Like, imagine if you haven't seen my video. It's like I made up a story for the Amazing Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man game, Spider-Man PS4, and like in it I said there would be a gameplay element where Spider-Man, you play as Mary Jane, but she's driving, and there's a high-speed chase taking place, and she's following the high-speed chase, like filming or whatever, and you have to die. It's like Grand Theft Auto, like you're like dodging cars or whatever, and a whole bunch of stuff's happening. Think of like PlayStation, how they games be. And at the same time, Spider-Man is web swinging, like trying to do everything. So imagine that the final fight is something like that, where it's like you play as all of the characters. It'd be like something like Mary Jane and following Peter, or going against Peter and Miles chasing Venom, and then you switch to Miles and do whatever, and then switch to Venom and do, and then switch back to Peter and then do. Like, it should be something like that. That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. I think they're gonna do more innovative gameplay elements. I think they're gonna do more than just boring MJ stuff, which people liked it. It's cool. It's cool. But the game looks sweet. He says Zelda's still winning Game of the Year. Dang. Oh, that's. I never played Zelda. I'm not into Nintendo like that. I think though that ship has sailed. I'm on the comic book stuff. That's is in video games as kitty as it gets. I can't do the Zelda. Can't do that. I don't know about that game, dog. I don't know about that Zelda. I don't know. Nintendo in general, I don't really know about that. I don't think I could play that. I don't want to, and I don't think I can. Shoot, right now I'm Venom 2 million. When I turn 30, I might be Mr. 2 million. I might have to drop the Venom. So I don't know. Zelda. But if that's game of the year, that sucks. That's terrible. God dang. Woo! Shoot. If Red Dead Redemption, he said, don't sleep on Zelda, my brother. I'm not sleeping on Zelda. Ain't nowhere near Zelda. Staying far away from that. That game is not, that game, look, okay, I play Kingdom Hearts. I didn't beat Kingdom Hearts 3, because I don't know. I got older. I don't know. No, Kingdom Hearts 3 is just disappointing. It ain't, what they did. Zelda, though? I don't know if I could play that. Like, when I was a kid, I wasn't even going to play Kingdom Hearts because they had Winnie the Pooh and Little Mermaid on the back. I'm at Blockbuster. She like, play Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I ain't going to play that. Little Mermaid, Winnie the Pooh on the back? What you trying to say? What you think about me for real? I'm talking to the Blockbuster lady. I'm little. I'm a little kid. What you think about me for real? You think I play Little Mermaid, Winnie the Pooh? What? I'm a boy, And I played it. It was sweet. But I was a kid, so I gave it a chance. Like now, giving Zelda a chance, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. I may have to make some precautions. I have to have a whole kit to play Zelda. I gotta have I gotta be an adult if I'm gonna play Zelda. I'm an adult, so Zelda, Okay. He said, if I will say Zelda does innovate, that is what Spider-Man needs to do. If you know, you know. You said that it innovates. Okay. I'm sure it does. Look, if they come out with the Red Dead Redemption remaster this year, that should win Game of the Year. If it's sweet. If not, Spider-Man 2 should win Game of the Year. But I can't say that without playing. I'm not that person, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all know that, though. Y'all watch me. I'm not that dude. I can't. Nah. I'm going to do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I got to be, I love y'all. I appreciate it. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all for real. Hey, this was a sweet show. We're going to do a show. I didn't announce it. I'm going to do a show tomorrow, too. So after this stream, I'll put that up. See, or later on tonight, you'll see it. But I'm going to do a show tomorrow. I was supposed to do this show yesterday. What ended up happening was it just didn't happen. It didn't work out. And this show was almost threatened. I was starting having weather issues, internet going out. I'm like, come on, man. Dog. But we good. We here with it. We did it, y'all. We did it. And I really appreciate y'all for all showing up and tuning in. Yo, the game looks sweet. Insomniac, y'all did y'all thing. I'm giving you your flowers for this trailer right here. Look, Spider-Man Miles Morales, the game was sweet. The story was what it was, and it told, for me, it's really about the us as a society, like looking at these stories and then getting what we get from them and really discussing them versus it was good. It was bad. He had the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, he also fought his best friend who was a woman and beat her until she got up. Well, no, he didn't beat her until she died, but you understand. That's stretching it. That's not right. Be honest with it, okay? He didn't beat her until she almost died. He just fought her and she fought him, and the fighting led to her dying. And I think that's an interesting story for kids to play, to see, to hear, woman getting, fight. I think that's interesting. I think it's an interesting story to tell. I think it's nothing. I'm all for art. So like, it's not about limitation of art, and this art should not be like that, or this art should not be like. I think these are interesting stories that are like really speaking to society and speaking to different perspectives of different areas of society, even speaking to different perspectives of the individuals within those areas of society, and it's being showcased for we as a society to watch, consume, understand, listen, be entertained by, and talk about. And I dig it. I like the difference in story. Is it, black people of color, fighting each other? I think that's interesting. But I think, that is just, there's so many different perspectives, so many different perspectives to have, so many different perspectives to listen to. And I think that's the point, really. Yeah, I think that's the point. And with that, I appreciate all of you for watching. I've been your host, Venom 2 Million. Everyone has been an excellent audience. You've been great. I really appreciate you. I appreciate individuals. Hold on, wait. Let me. I appreciate, because that's I really do appreciate that, because thank y'all for trying to super chat, for trying to give, like, that's crazy a little bit. Like, YouTube, this money. When I was a kid, we made a few dollars. But it wasn't like this. You couldn't like, hey dog, I'm gonna give you some money now. Like, that's crazy, and I really appreciate that. Just even, that's nuts. Thank you for trying. And when the channel is at that point, which will be soon, but I really appreciate the thought and the trying, and I really appreciate y'all for showing up. I have to show my appreciation, and I have to thank y'all all for watching here. I'm gonna read a few more comments, then we gonna turn this thing on off. Said, what's my Cash App? My Cash App and Venmo is in the description. Venom2M. He said, play that Zelda. I'm playing Zelda. I think you should cover Tears of the Kingdom next. Yeah, he's Tears of the Kingdom. That's Zelda. I ain't never played none of that. I don't know nothing. I don't know what that is. I don't know about Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know about Zelda. I don't know about Nintendo. I ain't even finished the Mario movie. Hey, it was good. I liked it, I just fell asleep. I just fell asleep. That's it. But, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe we'll talk about Zelda. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I maybe. Shoot, the video games, they said it's going to be Game of the Year. That is, oh, God. Maybe we will talk about Zelda. Game of the Year. Whew. All right, y'all. No, I'm playing. Hey, I appreciate all y'all for watching. For real, I really do. It was a great stream, y'all. I had a blast. I hope y'all had a blast. Dog, that trailer was sweet. Wow, we was doing it. This is amazing, dog. And it's just gonna continue. This is just the beginning. This is the first stream, second stream back. Next stream tomorrow. I'll do a stream tomorrow. I didn't take a phone call again. But we're gonna take a call next stream. I'm gonna do it. Next stream, I'm gonna talk about something a little bit different, though. It's not gonna be Spider-Man fully and all that stuff, but you'll see that. Hey, I really appreciate all y'all for watching. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in, subscribing, sticking with me. And as always, I thank you for watching. I am your host, Venom 2 Million, saying peace. Have a good one. I hope you have an excellent day, or excellent rest of your day, an excellent night. I hope you had a great week, and I see y'all tomorrow with it. Have a good one, y'all. Peace. Have a good one.